Okay, Patty. I'm going to try asking you that question again. What do you do when you're at home?
I watch TV and look up stuff on the internet, I guess. Ain't much else to do when you're out.
声が入ってませんでしたね。危ない危ない。
Really? For some reason, I envisioned you working hard to take care of all the chores around the house.
Well, of course I do stuff like that too. But doesn't everyone? Why bother talking about it?
Other kids your age don't help out their parents. They're too busy talking with their friends on the phone or through emails.
That's stupid. I don't get why everyone's so obsessed with taking pictures of themselves. Then they send them to their friends just to get approval. Talk about cringeworthy.
How do you prefer to boost your self-esteem then?
I don't need to. I have my family. And besides, my daddy's the town sheriff. All I need to be happy is a normal life.
That's awfully mature of you.
Everyone else is just childish. I'm totally normal.
Okay then. So, what do you do after you finish all your chores? You don't turn on CNN and pour yourself some bourbon, do you?
CNN? That's kid stuff. What I watch is way more adult than that.
Like what? Live sports?
You just don't get it, Agent York. Full House, Friends, Beverly Hills 90210, sitcoms. Sitcoms are an all-in-one package. Dreams, love, life lessons, science fiction. They've got everything you'd ever want. And some cable channels just show reruns all day long. It's the best. Oh, but my favorite TV show is this old one called MacGyver. The main character is cute and smart. I don't know his real name, but I like him. Oh, and I also like Gil Grissom from CSI. I just think it's adorable how he keeps maggots inside his fridge.
Thank you, Patty. That was very informative. Well, what do you think, Zach? Her tastes are... they're a bit hard to describe. Wait, don't even say it. I know exactly what you're thinking, and I'm in full agreement.
このゴールデンウィーク中、俺も海外ドラマばっか見てるからな。ていうかね、ミュート危なかったね。ありがとうございます。何話したってな、最初。じゃあ何にも配信されてないってことだ。要は今メインミッションがこの2つあって、1つ目がこの氷点下、そういえばなんか冷凍倉庫で死体が見つかった事件みたいのがあったんだよね。で、それがなんだっけ、過去、ちょっと待って、これ、なんかあらすじとか見れないっけ。レッドルームとかで見れるか？パーソナルデータ、ポーチ、ジャーナル。ジャーナル？これはやったんだよな。で、分岐すんのこれ。これじゃわかんねえな。あらすじみたいのってどっかで見れなかったっけ？マップ。間違えた。ポーチは、ゴム弾しか持ってねえな。救急キット。タバコ。ロリポップキャンディ。これB を押しちゃうと使っちゃうから A だ。パーソナルデータかな？違うな。多分違うっぽいな。スケートボード手に入れたね、そういえば。これはよしとして。間違えた。スタンプって何？スタンプラリーみたいなのがあるのか。なんだっけね。前回のパートを見てもらえればわかると思うんですけど、確か、なんか年老いた、もうなんか、ワンのヨークとは思えないような、ヨークじゃないか、ザックか。ね、前作で、ヨークがね、役目を終えてザックと入れ替わったからね。で、ザックがもうなんか白髪のなんかもう薬中みたいな状態ので出てきてね。で、今なんかその時起きた事件に関して、なんかその冷凍倉庫でなんか死体が見つかった事件が過去の、ヨークが捜査した事件と関わりがあるんじゃねえかみたいな、そんな展開だった気がする。で、過去を振り返るみたいなパートになってんだよね、今ね。スケートってどうやって乗るの？乗れた。車に乗らずしてこれで行けると。プッシュ。12ってとこ行ってみよう。いいね、これ。車そういえば盗まれたんだっけ？確か車盗まれたんだよね、よく。どこだ？あっちか。ここ？ボーリング場。アレクサス。 アレクサスってなんか聞いたことあるな。
Patty, is something wrong?
I got something to say. When I first met you in the hotel parking lot, you mentioned Saint Rouge, right? If you want to find it, maybe you should track down Professor R.
Professor R.
Yeah, Professor R owns the jazz bar on the other side of the bayou.
How do you know that?
Because.
Because, huh? Interesting.
この子がこのゲームのヒロインなんだっけ？ウォールズネスト。なんだ？とりあえず入ってみようか。ボーリング場で何やるの？これはセーブか。突っ立ってる人、こんな見せ物みたいなボーリング場なのこれ。一人おばあちゃんが立ってるけどなんだここのボーリング場ボーリング場というかボーリングバーかこれ。なんかこうパンツ一丁の人いるぞ。なんだこの人ちょっとここなんかいかがわしい店なんじゃないのこれ。パンツ一丁の人いるで。でもブーツ見るとなんかプロレスラーみたいだなこれ。ブリーフやでブリーフ。ブリーフだ。なんだこの人。この店やばいんじゃねえか。お、なんか調べる。日焼けしたお客様には割引中え、あいつが日焼けしてんのか。あいつ日焼けしてるっつうよりは黒人だろ。日焼けと言えるのかあれは。日焼けしてますっていうのをアピールしてんのかな。お前割引目当てだな、さては。じゃあここに面白い店だな。おばあちゃん投げる。お、うまっ。
10 maidens, Zach. Let's topple their hourglass figures and complete this oracle once and for all.
Oh, my Lord. I don't believe I've seen you around here before. Sorry, honey, but you can't smoke in here.
あら。
Since you're with Patricia, I'm guessing you're some friend of Melvin's.
He's Agent York from the FBI. This is Alexis, the owner of this restaurant. I'm helping out Agent York in his investigation. We signed a contract.
Oh, my Lord. Well, ain't that something?
アレクサス・ジャワラさん。
I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, call me York. Everyone's always called me that.
Oh, my Lord. Well, that's got to be the strangest introduction I've ever heard. No wonder everyone in town's been talking about you.
へんてこな挨拶って。
I want a chocolate sundae, but no cherries. I want 2 wafers instead. Don't put too many Rice Krispies on it. Oh, but don't scrimp on the chocolate syrup either.
Oh, my Lord. And what'll it be for you, honey?
Alexis, are these photos of the town?
Oh, you like my pictures? My hobby's collecting snapshots of what our town used to be like. So whenever someone gives me an old picture, I just put it up here on display. Our world these days feels a bit cold to me, you know? Just thought it'd be nice to help folks remember what it was like in the good old days.
Zach, did you hear that? The good old days. Even in a remote town that's already far behind the times, there are still people who yearn for the past.
She told me what was going on, you know.
What?
Lise, you don't need to try and hide it from me, honey. Last time she came here, she told me all about it. Some odd fella was following her around, stalking her like.
What kind of fellow?
She said he had a really tall shadow,
How tall?
as tall as an oak tree.
Did that ring any bells for you?
Sadly, it didn't. I know just about everyone in this here town, but I ain't never seen a man who stands that tall. Maybe it really was an oak tree and she just mistook it for someone. Sometimes the silhouettes of them trees with lots of Spanish moss hanging down make me feel a little funny too.
I don't think so, Alexis. Lise said the shadow was following her, correct? That means she must have been stalked by a man as tall as an oak tree. If she had only mistaken an oak tree for a person, she wouldn't have described it that way. She might have said,
It felt like a crowd of people was staring at me.
Yes, exactly. She certainly wouldn't have talked about being followed by someone. Thank you, Patty. Zach, this data is all very intriguing, but it isn't the answer we're looking for. We came to knock down the 10 maidens, remember?
Oh, yeah! Booyah!
Mrs.
I
Carpenter.
got a
取ったど
Truly mesmerizing, Zach. This is why I never tire of small-town investigations. Same goes for you, right?
あーこのリースっていうのが殺された女性だっけ多分。
Agent York, if you're fixing to bowl, you're gonna be disappointed. Mrs. Carpenter never lets anyone else use the lane while she's here.
Patty, that's exactly what I came to do. You see, Zach and I need to bowl down 10 maidens.
Fine, go on and try if you wanna, but I'm gonna eat my sundae.
美味しそう。
Hey! Are you nuts?
What's the most addictive drug in the world?
How should I know?
It's sugar, Patty. Far more people die from obesity and diabetes than from cocaine and heroin.
あら。
Alexis, would you give her some milk?
Oh, my Lord. Coming right up, honey.
あらららら。
Sugar might be dangerous, but it ain't against the law. You got no right to take that from me, even if you are some FBI agent.
Actually, Patty, I do. We signed a contract, remember? I promised to protect you from all the evil in our world.
Hey!
Delicious. What an amazing chocolate sundae. Zach, I think we just uncovered an incredible treasure here. I feel like I could eat one of these every day while we're in this town.
Oh, what?
なんという。譲ってくんないの？どうやってこの中に入るんだ？あ、こっからか。超強そうだな。なんだこれ。
Excuse me, ma'am.
Oh, howdy, stranger. My, you're a handsome one. You came out here from the city, didn't you? I can always spot you city folk from a mile away.
Mrs. Carpenter.
I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Would you mind calling me York, ma'am?
Oh, so you are from the FBI. I thought as much. So sophisticated. Well, my horoscope in the paper today told me I'd be meeting someone new. And those horoscopes never miss. They're the real deal. Well, one even predicted when I'd bowl my first perfect game.
パーフェクト。
Oh, no.
めちゃくちゃうめえじゃん。
Oh, could you stand a bit closer to me? Whew, that was a close one. If you move any further that way, you'll cast a shadow over the lane. Well, the sheriff did that once, and something horrible happened. The next time I bowled, I got a gutter ball. First time in 12 years. I was mortified. And I am going to make sure nothing like that ever happens again. In our world, some routines lead to good things, while others only lead to the bad. So, you mustn't ever cast a shadow over the lane. Is that understood?
It's her routine, Zach. Understand? Just like us and coffee. Incidentally, ma'am, would you mind letting me use this lane too? I'm investigating the Lise Clarkson murder case, and I need to topple 10 maidens no matter what it takes.
No, absolutely not. Not even the FBI can take my lane from me. I haven't given it up once ever since my husband passed away over a decade ago. I'll never break my promise to him.
But
Now, if you'll excuse me.
ヒョウ柄のボールってやばいね。顔が回転してる。
Ooh, you like that? That's what I'm talking about. Who's your mama?
ほらって。
Zach, it looks like negotiations have failed. Now I'm afraid we have no choice but to force her to let us use her bowling lane. Yes, I know. I won't do anything illegal. Excuse me, Mrs. Carpenter.
Stop! Not now. Can't you see I'm already in my bowling stance?
どこが投球フォームに入ってるんです？
What, are you blind? Holy mother of bowling balls, let me pick up this split. Holy mother of bowling balls, let me pick up this...
大丈夫かばあちゃん。
That stance, always works on a split. Oh, yeah, never fails.
Zach, our new friend, appears to be a very superstitious lady. We should try and utilize this trait of hers in order to gain access to the lane for a bit. That was an amazing shot, Mrs. Carpenter. In fact, it may have been the most amazing shot I've ever seen. Speaking of which, where did you happen to find all those neat little items? The ones you used to help you bowl that split just now.
Ooh, you got a keen eye there, Mr. Special Agent. Taking a liking to my collection, have you?
Oh, yes. A great liking.
I buy all my charms and power stones from GW
GW-PRED.
あ、さっき俺がマーカーしたとこかな。
Yes, it's a mystical establishment run by the Mirror.
The mirror.
If you're interested, I can mark it on your map for you.
Zach, this is it. GW-PRED. There must be a treasure trove of dubious trinkets on sale there. We may even be able to find something capable of changing her mind. It really feels like we're in the deep south now, doesn't it?
Deadly Premonition に行くか。
What'll it be, honey?
注文する。
Is this place a bowling alley or a restaurant?
Oh, my lord, what's wrong, honey? Can't tell the difference? It says restaurant right there on the outside.
How do you explain that then?
That's so the customers can bowl while they eat. Convenient, ain't it? If you want to bowl, honey, you'll have to ask Mrs. Carpenter to open up the lane for you. But if you just want to eat, then all you need to do is call my name. Got it?
理想的な店だな。いろいろある。
Come back anytime, honey. You ain't gonna find any better Cajun food in all of Louisiana.
よし。B ボタンがね、聞きにくいんだよね。押してるけど、だから結構このパッドとの最適化があんまりこう。
I thought you came here to bowl.
Yes, I did.
Then why are you leaving? You gave up on trying to convince Mrs. Carpenter to let you play?
No, Patty, neither Zach nor I have given up on anything. We're just going to stop by Erzuli Frida.
Erzuli Frida? What do you want with that place?
What do you know about it, Patty?
It's a dumb store that sells stupid voodoo charms and even stupider souvenirs. No one who actually lives here would ever be caught dead there. Daddy even told me to steer clear of it.
And why is that?
'Cause they sell guns?
You mean Erzuli Frida is a gun shop?
It's kinda like a gun shop and a voodoo shop had a baby.
A voodoo shop. Thank you, Patty. You just helped me make up my mind. We're going to use the power of voodoo to help us steal the right to use that lane.
よし。あっちだな。わかりやすいのに。いいな、こう車にいちいち乗らなくてもいいってのいいな。車が全然通んないからいいな。
A voodoo shop. It's a voodoo shop.
好きそ
Just looks like a dumb souvenir shop to me.
Of course it does, Patty. You're much too young to understand the true value of such a place.
う。わあ、なんかいろんなのがありそう。めちゃめちゃ怪しい店じゃねえかよ。
This is all kid stuff. It's just a bunch of charms. I'm allowed to watch TV and go on the internet, but I ain't allowed in here? My daddy makes no sense sometimes. You agree, right, Agent York? This is all just kid stuff.
Look at this, Zach. All the mysticism of the Deep South gathered. This is 100 times more exciting than the FBI evidence vault. It's a vast treasure chest. So much to study, so much to learn.
Mira.
Thou art a seeker, and I see the object of thy desire. Doth this be what thou seeketh? I could sell it to thee now. And only now. Surely fortune shall not bless thee with another chance. Purchase this, and know that thy wishes shall be granted.
買うしかなさそうだな。
That's crazy. Even I can tell you're getting cheated, Agent York.
I disagree, Patty. This person can be trusted. I've been studying people for quite a while, so I can tell. That figurine is connected to our future.
My price is true. What say
ど
they?
んぐらい？今$600ぐらいしか持ってなかったような気がするんだけど。あ、いけるわ。いけるいける。
I'll buy it.
Thou art a man of refined taste. I am loath to part with it, but 'twould be a fool's errand to keep it from such a keen-eyed soul.
武器が欲しいな、あと。
What's wrong with you? No normal person would ever buy a piece of junk like that. Not even at a garage sale.
Marvelous, isn't it, Zach? What a treasure. I can't wait to use it.
Use it? Where? How?
Isn't it obvious, Patty? I'm going to put it in front of Mrs. Carpenter's house.
In front of her house?
Yes, I'm sure this figurine will stop her right in her tracks. And that'll give us a chance to finally topple the 10 maidens.
Are you serious?
Of course I am. And so is Zach. Aren't you?
I'm seriously wondering if I should quit helping you out with this.
カーペンター、彼女が在宅中。夜とかなのかな。いずれかな。サイドクエスト。ミラーのミステリーリフレーダーでいずれかな。サイドクエストが始まったな。ここもノースモーキングって書いてあるな。
Verily, much shall serve thee well here.
強化。ネックレス。あ、これは作っといた方がいいやつか。ネックレスを作るのが優先順位高いのかな。身体的能力を強化。まあ、ドールもありだな。じゃあ素材も必要なのか。あ、でも何の素材もないから買えないね。なんか見つけてこないといけないんだな。どこで見つけてくんだろう。
I can see it. Thy return
しかし
is
今日暑い
imminent.
ね。
If
暑くなってきた。
thou hast discovered the very purpose of my emporium, that is.
でもここは結構あれだね、マストだね。来ないとね。
Whoa.
おう。
That was close.
Well, look at you, all standing there like you're expecting me to apologize. It's your fault for not paying attention.
名字だ。お姉さんか妹か。
What?
Got a moment?
Can't say I do. I'm in a hurry here.
I won't take up too much of your time. I'd just like to ask you a few questions.
I said I'm in a hurry, Peckerwood. Now get out of my way.
Patty, who was that?
Kalina Clarkson. PJ Clarkson's second
師
daughter
匠。
and Lisa's mother.
お母さん。
Zach, we've found ourselves a Clarkson.
ついに会えたな。
Oh no, she's not here. My dolly. She's not here. My dolly isn't here.
One of the key persons in this case just came out of the woodwork to meet us. Now things are really getting interesting. Isn't that right, Zach?
これはいろいろ聞きたいとこだな。お人形がないと何も話してくれなさそうだな。特別な5色のビーズ。ビーズ。サイドクエストいっぱいあるね。まあ基本的にはメインミッションを優先的にやっていきますよ。さあとりあえずはおばあちゃんのとこの家の前にブードゥー人形を置くか。どこだ？わら人形16ね。これショートカットでいいのかな。こっちとかね。この間パティはどこに行ったんだろうね。
Hey, Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the San Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand, and Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa.
ちょっとした段差があるときついんだね。
So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Unga, is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of either? Still too early to tell. But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case's mysteries. That's what my soul tells me.
ウンガンってのは多分前回出てきたなんか絵の中にいるキャラクターですね。
Ungan feels very familiar to me. You might even say he reminds me of someone. Yes, I think I see the connection now. A cheerful, wise, yet also mysterious African-American who appeared in a variety of different films. My mind must be overlapping him with the skeletal gentleman. Do you remember his name? Ah, yes, that's it. Scatman Crothers. In 1980, he played Dick Halloran in The Shining. And in 1983, he was in The Twilight Zone. He played the man who invited all those elderly folks into a strange new world. I knew it, Zach.
トワイライトゾーン。シャイニングにも出てたんだ。ここに置いてみよう。
Bad timing, Zach.
Oh.
We need to place the figurine in front. Let's come back later.
ああ、なるほど。じゃあ夜になってからか。じゃあもう一個の方行ってみるか。こっち。M04。そうだね。まだ朝の10時だ。 ァストトラベルとかもできるのかね。
Did you notice it yet? The streets in New Orleans were a mess. All busted up and undergoing maintenance. The city was built on a swamp, so the ground is soft. All it takes is some heavy rain to cave it all in. There were also a lot of places where large tree roots were pushing up parts of the asphalt and the sidewalk. Those bumps were dangerous even when we still had our car, remember? But this town is different. The streets are all paved so cleanly that we can skate along them without a care in the world. And there's hardly any trash or graffiti to be found anywhere. The Clarksons truly do control this place. For better or worse, it's a good example of how allowing certain people to rise to power can have positive effects as well. Also, don't you find that Southern people are remarkably friendly, even to total strangers? Both here and in New Orleans, I've been amazed at how cordial everyone is. Is it just the way things are down here? You certainly don't see that sort of thing in New York or D.C. They never stop to chit-chat, especially when ordering food. They only say what's necessary, without any decoration. A customer only makes eye contact with the waiter about once every 3 times they interact. But that's just how it is, isn't that right, Zach? The human relationships here are as fluid as an inorganic mechanism running on the smoothest, purest oil there is. And it feels strangely comfortable after spending time in New Orleans and coming here. I think I'm starting to like the Southern disposition. They even have their own breed of bizarre crimes. And besides, the New Orleans area is famous for...
スケボーで行くのもなんかいいね。新鮮でいいな。この子がどうやってここまで来てんのかわかんないけど。
Mr. York, that was mighty quick. The special agent does it again. You sure don't waste any time. I bet my CLG's got a lot to learn from you. By the way, Mr. York, looks to me like you aren't packing anything.
I was on vacation in New Orleans before I happened to stop by here.
Well, shoot, that won't do. Here, I got something I think you'll like.
Oh? Oh?
I call him Mr. Alligator. Badass, ain't he?
なんだこれ、ただの水鉄砲じゃねえかこれ。
It's a tranquilizer gun for the gators.
ワニ？ワニが出てくるってどういうことだ？だからさっきの人形もワニだったんかな。
And here's a radio.
あ、これファストトラベルじゃないもしかして。
With this, you won't have to worry about any expensive roaming fees.
そんなそんなことはいいんだよ。リアルじゃなくてよ。多分ファストトラベルじゃねえかな。いざという時に。
Might take you a while to get used to him, but you'll get it. Try letting him rip a few times. Ain't no need to hold back out here.
まだチュートリアルだな。ああ、任せなさい。銃の扱いには慣れてるっていうか、なんだこれ。ゴム弾。ゴム弾はなんかいくつか持ってたな。これか。格闘、あ、進化したね。1の時はもうさ、構えてこう撃つ時止まってたけど、もうちゃんとこう動きを今の時代に合った感じですよ、ちゃんと。改善されてる。しかもこの状態の時に格闘攻撃ができる。だいぶ進化したな。おお、超やりやすい。おお、扱いやすくなったわ。
Now,
腰引
this
け
is
て
an
るね。
intriguing weapon. For a tranquilizer gun, it really packs a punch. But I'm afraid I'll decline. After all, this town is peaceful, isn't it?
Well, sure it's peaceful. At least the humans are. But the animals are a different story. Remember what I named it?
本当にワニが出てくるの？
There are some real mean-ass gators out there in the swamps. And every now and then, they wander into town.
この普通のところにワニが来るの？
One of them even went and ate a kid once. It happened a long time ago, but still. One chomp's all it takes. They swallow down every last bit of you.
クロコダイルダンディになれと。
Poor kid's parents didn't even know what to put in his coffin. The worst part is, that taught the gators just how tasty we humans are. So now, man-eating crocodiles will feast tonight. In Blood Swamp!
You know he's fibbing, right? Gators don't attack folks. I never heard about no kid getting swallowed by a gator.
Actually, Patricia, you're wrong.
I'm what?
Alligators do attack people, and it could happen in any town.
Huh?
Alligator, 1980. Directed by Louis Teague. It takes place in the Midwest, I believe. A teenage girl's pet alligator gets flushed down the toilet. Then, in the sewer, it feeds on the corpses of dogs that were used as test subjects for an experimental growth formula. After growing over 30 feet, it finally starts to go after humans. It's an extremely...
昔そういう映画いっぱいあったもんな。
Yes, an extremely edifying movie. Back when I first saw it, I had a pet hamster.
Hey, Agent York. What's your first order of business? You're in charge now, remember?
Well said, Patricia. I nearly lost sight of my true goal. Melvin, I couldn't help but notice the name on the side of that truck. This facility is connected to the victim, isn't it?
Oh, right. Yeah. I reckon I better start from there. I'm gonna tell it to you straight right from the beginning, Mr. York. As you guessed, this warehouse is run by the Clarksons. The victim's father, Danny Clarkson, is the one who manages the whole place. Okay, but why did he choose to store her body in his own warehouse, right? Well, that's 'cause there ain't no other place to store it.
モルグがないのか？
Our town has a clinic inside a church, but no more.
そんな町あるんだ。
Whenever someone kicks the bucket, we just bury him in the graveyard right outside of town. But not this time. We got a murder on our hands
じゃあ
this
この
time.
中に死体があるんだ。保管されてんや。
We need to give Lisa's body an autopsy and keep it stored, right? So we had no choice but to rent out a corner of this warehouse.
I see. So that's what led to the ingenious choice to store the victim's body in a facility that her family owns.
Anywho, this is where the real story begins. Truth is, a few days before you got here, Lisa's body went missing.
Missing?
Yeah. All of a sudden, poof.
Did you leave the warehouse unlocked?
I most certainly did not. I locked the whole place up and made sure no one could get inside. No one stole the original key, and I couldn't find any fingerprints at the scene.
ミステリー。
So, in other words, this is a locked room mystery.
The body of a beautiful young girl walks at mid... Hey! all right, CLG. Reckon I should have told you about this earlier when you first said you wanted to come here. It just didn't seem like the time or place as I remember. Anywho, how about we call it a day and head back to my office? You can go through all the files there.
中に入っても意味ねえってことか。
No, thank you. This is what I came to investigate.
見てみたいね。
But Lisa's body isn't here anymore.
That doesn't bother me one bit, Melvin. You see, I met a skeletal gentleman on my way here, and he was kind enough to give me an oracle.
よし、見てみるか。と前にちょっとお手洗いに行ってきます。 戻りましたと。このゲームってサイドクエとかやると、もしかするとまた前作のように無限武器とかね手に入るかもしれないからやった方がいいんだよね。だから配信外でちょっとサイドクエストとかやってみようかな。基本的には配信はメインクエストでやっていきますんで。よし、さてさて、行ってみますか。ちょっと話せないか。これはなんだ？あ、変えるのか。確かこれ腹減りの概念もなかったっけ？腹減り具合は大丈夫？パーソナルデータ。腹減りのゲージがどこにあるんだろうな。あれ？麺のゲージは多分眠気だと思うからコーヒーとかだと思うけど、左上のやつがよくわかんないな。まあいっか、入っちゃうか。さあ、なんとなくだけど、ここのエリアなんか前作のようにさ、裏世界みたいなステージがあるんじゃない？
You holding up
あそこ
okay,
寒いんだ
CLG?
な。てかめっちゃ寒そうじゃん。あんな素肌出しちゃって。
You sure you don't want to wait outside?
こういう姿のヨークもなんか珍しくていいな。
Whew, I'll be fine, Daddy. Just make sure you don't take your eyes off of him. He's so selfish and inconsiderate. I'm still not convinced he's actually a real FBI agent.
スタミナの上限か。まあそうかもしれんね。
Look, he's talking to himself again.
Zack, this is the ambiguous zero, the deep freeze.
なんかさ、前作をやってたらこの独り言とかもすっごい意味があることだからさ、来るよね。最初はただのなんかブツブツつぶやいてるだけかなと思ったらさ、すごく重要な要素だからね。まあ前作の実況は全部もうクリアしたんでね、まだ見てない方いるのかな。この配信見てる方で多分前作をまだ見てないっていう方はいないと思うんで、まあ、もしアーカイブとか見てる方がいたらね、前作を見てもらった上でこのゲームの配信を見てもらった方がいいです。
Let's hurry up and find that flying serpent, shall we?
すごいゲームなんで、レッドシーズプロファイルは。さあ、調べてみよう。しかし、こんなところに遺体を安置してんのもやばいな。ツールボックス。あー、これ前作にもあったね。まあ、今は入れる必要ないか。てか、ツールボックスの中にいろいろ、こっちにもいろいろ入ってんだな。風邪薬とかある。おかんや風邪。おかんとか風邪とかも引くんだ。
Hey, Mr. York. You sure you want to keep investigating this place even though we know the body ain't here?
Of course, Melvin. The skeletal gentleman gave me an oracle, remember?
Skella what?
Ugh, he's just joking, Daddy. You can't take him seriously.
そう言うてくれるなよ。
Huh? Was that really a joke, Mr. York?
冗談ではない。
Well, I'll be. I see you've been hiding some real charm into that whole FBI routine.
Sorry, Melvin, but I'm dead serious.
中かな。お、なんか光ってる。ビジョンを使うことでゲームを進める上であらゆる手がかりを見つける。集中力を消費する。はあ。ビジョン。おお。あ、目のなんか集中力1個減った。 1回ずつで減るんだ。使いすぎたか。わお。死体がこことかに吊るされてたら嫌だな。
This place always
でもめちゃめちゃ広いね。
no matter how many times I come here.
Yes, it's quite the fun house. Meet entertainment.
プレデター
That's the
2を
only
思い
way
出
to
す。
describe it. Woven together by life, frozen in time, a visceral, musical.
Symphony. We eat all this in order to survive.
Yes, truly a symphony. Life and death resonating together.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Cool. Whoa now, CLG. Since when were you interested in this kind of stuff?
What are you so surprised for, Daddy? I'm more mature than you are. I've seen way more realistic corpses on CSI, you know.
Oh, man.
At first, Zach, I was shocked by the notion of storing a victim's body alongside
まあ
food.
そうだわな。やだわ。やだわ。
But as I gaze upon this hanging garden, I realize it's just another scene of violent, depraved murder. Yes. All we need to do is change our point of view, and things will expose themselves in utterly new ways.
そう。なんか光ってる。アリゲーターガーの尻尾こんなところで。なんか入っているよ。これはセーブポイントか。あ、光ってる。アメリカナマズの尻尾。他に光ってるところは魚もあるね。この中では全速力では走れないんだな。あ、走れた。スタミナが減るね。あ、なんかすげえいっぱいあるな。びっくりマークが。あ、壁越しに見てんのか。じゃああっちのエリアにいっぱい調べるとこがあるってことか。じゃあ行ってみるか。
Melvin, I'd like to take this opportunity to ask you a personal question. In the hotel parking lot, when I first met you, the picture you had on your dashboard happened to catch my eye. Was that your wife?
Oh.
Oh, her? Yeah, that's my lady, all right. Candy. Her name's Candy. The prettiest girl in town, which makes me the happiest boy. A shooting star landed in a rural town, right on top of a man who now has a meteor struck heart.
You always keep her photo with you?
You bet I do. The truth is, Candy's a little sick right now.
そうなの。
She can't even leave the house no more.
あら。
So I always keep her photograph with me. Kinda feels like we're always together, you know?
なんか事情ありやな。
I see. You care for your wife a great deal. But this means that
Yeah, that's right. My mama had me before she married Daddy.
あ、連れ子。
But it don't matter. He's still my real daddy to me.
Oh, thank you, CLG. And you're my pride and joy.
Well, Zach, isn't this a heartwarming scene? But there's one thing I just can't get out of my mind.
ほう。
Don't you think that photograph looked a bit too old?
あまりにも古いと思う。
Perhaps Candy is already... No, let's not think about that.
なぬそこまで推察する。うわー。
It might be a private matter, just like you, Zach.
なるほど。まあ、いつかそれが分かる時が来るな。
We're almost to the morgue. The temporary one, at least.
You don't need to keep correcting yourself, Melvin.
I know, but I'm starting to feel guilty all of a sudden. You know, from an ethical perspective. It just ain't right to store a teenage girl's body in a place like this.
まあね。
Still, rephrasing your sentences won't fix anything at this point. It's a shallow concern, really.
Yeah, I know. But shoot, I just felt like the least I could do is try to phrase it better.
Whew. Don't bother trying to convince him, Daddy. I've only been working with him for a little while, but I already figured out what his deal is. He ain't right in the head.
いや、だいぶおかしいと思うけど。
Whew. The
採用
FBI
基
should add a
準
new
に。
requirement to their hiring process. Must possess humanity.
お辞儀しちゃった。いっか。さあ、ここでいろいろ調べるものがありそうだな。あ、メインクエに行くな、あれ。結構なんかいろいろ調べるところがあったような。お、ローフィッシュ。これはアイテムか？アイテムがありそうだよな。素材とかを手に入れといた方がいいな。なんかブードゥー人形とかを作る上でも。これはしゃがんで進む場所。おお。OK。しゃがむのはわかるが、ここからどうしたらいい？何もできないぞ。しゃがむはしてるんだけど、ここから何をしたらいい？でもなんかいけそうなんだけどな、ここ。後でいけるようになるのかな。 れともここはしゃがみのチュートリアルってだけであって、どっかしゃがめるところが他にもあるのか。どこにないの？あっち側になんかありそうなんだよな。あ、格闘？しゃがんだ状態で見えんの？違う。弾結構あるね。193発もある。ここにないか。進むか。ああ、ここだ。
Here we are, Zach. The morgue. They stored the victim's body in a cold storage warehouse operated by her family. I'd love to shake the hand of whoever came up with that one.
Hey, Agent York. Did you just come here to laugh at rural officers who are doing the best they can? We don't have any special facilities like you people. What else did you expect us to do, huh? Don't compare us with city folk. This is Lucare. Or maybe you're just disappointed that you didn't get to see the bloated, decomposing corpse of a young girl.
Sorry, you're right. I went a bit too far just now. But don't misunderstand. I honestly think it's a fantastic idea. I'd never try and bully your daddy.
Better not.
Thank you for understanding.
手がかりを探す。じゃあ捜査を開始だ。あ、ここでしゃがみ。さっきのはチュートリアルか。Inspection start.
Zach, these are human footprints, and they're extremely large. Yes, Zach, I agree. These footprints must belong to someone who's used to walking around in cold temperatures. Boxes of the past? Or presents of the future? Either way, this is a curious time capsule. Forgotten boxes. Looks like shelled headless shrimp. When were these boxes brought here? Zach, can you feel it? The perpetual, unstoppable flow of time. Boxes that got left behind. I can't tell what's inside. What do you think, Zach? I'm gonna go with Okra. I'm sure it must be okra. That's a staple of the South.
オクラ。
Zach, can you see that? Look closely. That's right. There are 4 imprints in the frost on the top of this.
確かに。
It's hard to believe, but I think these are fingerprints.
ああ。
Yes, Zach, that would lead one to believe that the body napper is a giant who's over 10 feet
3メー
tall.
トル以上、なんか、でかいやつって言ってたもんな、付きまとわれてるのがあって。本当に3メートル以上マジ、クマみたいなやつだな。
This frost is shaped like something we're very used to seeing. That's right, a body bag. Lisa's body must have been left here, but there are no signs that the bag was dragged away.
ああ、ってことは持ってったんだ、そのまんまな。
So our criminal must possess
怪力。
monstrous strength.
おいおい、前作でも怪力だったぞ。あ、コンプリートになった。他にも調べられるとこがあったわ。
Seems like our flying serpent isn't here. Is this everything, Melvin?
千歳さんどうも。
There aren't any other rooms in this warehouse? No special rooms?
Well, there is the luxury foods warehouse.
地下があるんだ。
Luxury foods? Why didn't you say so earlier?
Just thought you wanted to see where the body. I just thought you were only interested in warehouse number 2. Besides, it's underground, so it's even colder than this. You sure you really want to go down there? You could darn well freeze to death. All life will come to an end in the icebound zone.
映画のタイトル。
You feel me?
キャッチフレーズ。
Let's head there at once. I'm sure that must be where we're meant to go.
But what about searching for Lisa's body?
All we need to do is find a 10-foot tall man with monstrous strength. That giant knows where she is.
10 foot tall?
But finding the flying serpent is more important right now. Now please, guide me to the luxury foods warehouse at once. These luxury foods are most likely being used in local Cajun cuisine. I'm so excited to see what we'll find. Aren't you, Zach?
さあ、その地下に何がある？どこから行けんだろうね。
All right. Now that one's gotta be a joke.
地下。そこにいっぱいあるんだよな。後で行けるようになるのかね。なんかこういうのとか押せそうなんだけどね。絶対ここがなんか行けるようになるんだろうね。
That elevator needs a key, Mr. York.
Do you have one?
Actually, no. I didn't think you'd ever want to go down there. So I didn't bother to go and get one.
Well then, would you go and get one now?
Yeah. COG, I know. Thing is, Mr. York, you know the Clarksons? The folks who own this place?
クラークソン地に行かないといけないのか。
Well, they don't too much like the police. They sure as hell don't like them when they're my color.
人種差別か。
It was, real hard for me to get permission to open up this place for you to search through. So they ain't gonna be too happy if I go back to them now. asking for another key.
What should we do then?
Let's just find a worker here who can lower the elevator for us instead.
ほう
All they need to do is take a break from their work for a couple minutes.
And what am I supposed to do? Just stand here and pretend like nothing's happening?
Yeah, you FBI folks are good at that, right? That's always what I see you doing on TV.
ドラマの見過ぎだ。
The elevator won't move without a key, Mr. York. Think you two can go and figure something out? I'll search around here in the meantime. I know they didn't make you a special agent for nothing.
なんとか手に入れてくると、誰から手に入れればいいんだ？あ、動かせるんじゃねこれ。あ、でそこから帰ってくるってことじゃない？これなんか押せるんだよ多分きっと。
Better check back here as well, just to be on the safe side.
おお、やっぱそうだよ。であのしゃがむところから出てくるんだろうな。どういうことだ？なんかすごい迷路だ。この人に話しかけるわけでもない。あっちか。単純にこれでだから戻れるだけじゃないの？いや、違うね。まだある。ここから来たんだよね。手前に光ったしまった。こっちか。こんな荷物に囲まれた奥にこんな建物があって、なんで人がここにいるの？おかしいだろ。あ、で、あれだ。これ、ここから帰れるってことだよ。ね、そういうことだ。ここもなんかあるね。アイテムかな？あ、アイテムだ。
Zach, the human ability to adapt is a frightening thing. Some humans have the power to sleep anywhere as long as they set their minds to it.
この人が鍵を盗むの？落としてんじゃん。
Now we should be able to operate the elevator. No need to worry. This facility no longer has a body to steal.
そうだよね。もう絶対帰らせない家に帰らせないって感じだよね。
What else do they have to lose? A few cans of crawfish? I feel bad for him, but it's for the sake of the investigation. I'll write him a letter of apology later.
法律違反してんじゃないのこの会社は。働かせまくってんじゃねえの。
Mr. York, did you find a key? Ha! Now that's my special agent. There ain't no stopping you. Want to head straight down?
You bet. Let's sally forth, Melvin. Zach, look at that thermometer. 0 degrees Fahrenheit.
うわ。
Or minus 17.7 degrees Celsius. This is the ambiguous zero.
パティダメだろ。素肌が出ちゃってんね。
Hey, Avery! Open the damn door, Avery! It ain't no use, Mr. York.
え？
Once Avery starts working on something,
あら。
that's all he sees. He just tunes out everything else.
そんな、
We'll have to wait until he finishes and comes out to us.
そんなやつがいるのか。
Or we can come back tomorrow.
I disagree, Melvin. Time may be on our side, but that doesn't mean we should waste it. You gave me Mr. Alligator precisely for moments like these, didn't you?
Wait, Mr. York! Those tranquilizers may be non-lethal, but it's still dangerous to use them on humans.
Of course, Melvin. I never said I was going to shoot him.
Oh.
You're gonna shoot some meat to get his attention. I'm right, ain't I?
アリゲーターの顔があるんだけど。
I lent you Mr. Alligator for... But if you end up hurting...
はいはい。ワニを落としました。
This is Mr. York, an agent from the FBI.
Hi, Avery. I'm Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, call me York.
York, you a smarty pants, huh?
エイブリー・スミス。でも3メートルはさすがにないか。
He's shyer than he looks. Come on, just settle down, Avery. Tell him what this here place is for.
Lots of expensive food here. Yup. Mighty precious to the Clarksons, so I gotta guard it.
おで。
I see. So you're this area's keeper.
Oh, I help with the research too. I do like research.
Research?
研究。
What are you talking about, Avery? This doesn't look like a lab to me.
Oh, ain't no lab It's a warehouse. Ain't no lab. Smarty pant scientist does the research. I ain't no smarty pants, no.
He's a bit slow in the mind, but he ain't a bad guy. Oh. Your story about the giant who carried Lisa out. Don't tell me you think it's him.
まあ、
I mean, it's true that he's free to come and go as he pleases in this warehouse, but...
No, as far as I can tell, he's just a bit over 6'5".
まあそうね。
The one who moved Lisa's body must be at least 10 feet tall.
そんな人間いるか
He's clearly too short.
Too short, huh? Well, if you ever happen to find a man who makes him look small, I'd sure like to meet him.
Lise.
Hey, cut it out!
Lise? Why?
なんだ
Avery, that's not Lise.
Not Lise?
This is Melvin's daughter, and my precious assistant. Unfortunately, Elise is no longer with us.
Lise! Lise! My fault! My fault!
I guess he's sort of like Lisa, you know? See, the poor fella's got himself a childlike mind. You know how normal kids tease other kids in order to get attention? Well, with this big lug, sometimes folks who don't know him too well see something and end up calling the police. But I know that deep down, he's got a good heart. Hey, Mr. York, I'll keep him busy, but I'd appreciate it if you'd hurry this particular inspection along. Just holler at me if you find anything. I reckon that'll make it easier for you to go do your thing, yeah?
Melvin, I think you're finally starting to catch on.
ね。確かに背高えな。
Hung alligators. I suppose in a way they sort of look like flying serpents. But that's pushing it. Remember, we're in a dark basement here. They'll never reach the sky. And Dewey. Now here's some real Cajun cuisine. The way these sausages are linked up, they almost look like a serpent. But it's hard to imagine them flying. Let's move on, Zach.
すごいなんか散乱してるな。
There are torn off claws and legs scattered all over the ground. I doubt they'll fly anytime soon. I can't tell which ones are from crawfish and which parts are from shrimp. How about you, Zach? Cans of Holy Trinity paste. Onions, bell peppers, and celery. The absolute basics for any Cajun dish. This product combines them all into some sort of paste. People actually buy this garbage? Even the name sounds idiotic. Zach, I just made an eternal promise with myself. If I ever happen to come across any food prepared with this paste,
なんかあるな、そこに。フードナイトか中に入ってみるか。その前に、こっちは、なんかある。アリゲーターばっかやな。
Avery, this box looks special.
Clarkson food, for their home.
Melvin, is this the Clarkson's family crest?
Oh, the dragonfly? Yeah, that's the Clarkson's mark, all right. Ain't no big deal, though. You can find those all over town.
Is that so?
Well, yeah. They pretty much run all of this town's major industries. Yeah, I do believe they own just about everything there is to own. So they got the whole darn town tattooed with their dragonflies. Can't even walk a few steps without seeing one.
Zach, this dragonfly is our flying serpent.
そうだな。
The flying serpent owns this town. They're related to Lise Clarkson, our victim. And Hungan's oracle pointed us toward their family crest. The Clarksons must be deeply intertwined with this case. Melvin, Patricia, I think I've had enough of this frozen world. Let's head back out to that merciless sun. Well, what are you waiting for? I can't bear to spend another second down here.
ほら、もうちょっと探索したかったんだけどな。アイテムとかありそうだったけど。戻れんのかな？
Whew. So, what do we do now, Mr. York?
Zach and I will take things from here.
Then what should I do?
Tend to your sick wife? I don't know. You're free to do as you please. I'll stop by the sheriff's office when I need your help again.
I suppose that's what I'll do then. It'll sure make Candy
いや、
happy.
家に行ってみてえな。
But I am the sheriff of this town, so I do intend to get some work done. I know. How about I search for Lisa's body while you're busy?
Not a bad idea. Just be careful that you don't get attacked by a barefooted giant.
Hey, don't scare me like that. Why do you keep talking about that giant anyway? You really think some giant was responsible for all this?
Melvin, don't be silly. Of course I do. Just when I thought you were starting to catch on.
But how can you be so sure? I want to see some proof.
Proof number one. The footprints that led up to where Lisa's body originally was were made with bare feet. None of the prints looked similar to those of common insulated boots, and the arches of the feet were visible. The person who carried out Lisa's body must have had very large feet. I'd say they were at least 16 inches. Proof number two. I found fingerprints on the cord of one of the hanging lights in the warehouse. The fingerprints weren't aimed up from below. They were coming directly from the side. Clearly, the giant moved the light because it was in his way.
なるほどね。
He pinched the cord with his fingers. Proof number three. There was nothing else found in the vicinity where Lisa's body was stored. This means the giant carried her out without dragging her across the floor. But there's only one set of footprints. The only conclusion I can draw from this evidence is that a barefooted giant, standing over 10 feet tall, carried Lisa's body out. That concludes the entirety of my proof. Any objections, Melvin?
But there ain't no way a human could ever be that tall.
Have you seen every human alive with your own eyes? Well then, you need to forget all your preconceived notions when embarking on an investigation. Whether you come face to face with a 10-foot giant or a skeletal gentleman, you always need to accept everything that comes to you with a clear mind. Do that, and eventually the truth will reveal itself to you. You're a smart kid, I'm sure you understand.
Well, I'll be damned. I'm sorry I ever doubted you, Mr. FBI Special Agent, sir. A sharp eye and flawless observational skills. Uncovering the truth with a heady intuition. I won't ever question you again. Heck, I'll do whatever you say.
That's it, Melvin. I'm glad you finally caught on. Okay, time to go, Patty. You know this town well, so I'd like you to accompany me from now on.
Patty?
Zach, we found the flying serpent. Now we simply need to locate the 10 maidens.
そうだね。
It's time to head on to Alexis's diner and lane.
だけど、時間が経たないとね。入れないんだ。あ、また来るかもしれねえしな、ここには。時間を潰すにはどうしたらいいんだろうね。あ、タバコを吸えば確か時間を潰せたな。じゃあ、あれだ。自宅、これを配置してんのな。16まで戻る。16まで行って、こんな人がいたらどう思うんだろうね。
This is the deep south. I feel it every time that molten hot sun pours down on me. Don't you, Zach?
あら、報酬得られた。あ、口ずさむか。口ずさむとは本人が口笛を吹くんじゃないんだ。これスケートボード 100% で出てるからなんだあれなこれ。お、なこれなこれ。お、レア的。なんだこれ。報酬なんだこれ。お、こんなことしていいのか。レア的っていうからちょっとやっとくか。出ない。いいんだか。いいんだか悪いんだか。
Hey, Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the San Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand, and Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa's murder while sitting in a bar during our vacation in New Orleans. That certainly wouldn't have happened if we had stayed in D.C. They would have given the case to another special agent, or maybe even to the state, and then we never would have found it. In the end, it would have been shut up in that vast, desolate...
あ、ワンちゃんがいる。お、おう、ワンちゃん。こういうところのアイテムとか取っていかんと素材が集まんねえか。セーブしてないからセーブしとくか。 じゃあここで多分タバコ吸えるんじゃないの？タバコ。お、来た来た来た来た来た。あれあれ、もっと吸えると思ったんだけど。あれ、もっと時間潰さないといけないのか。どうすかね。ビーズを集めるとかそんなものしかないな。なんか気になるとこ行ってみるか、じゃあ。ここはなんだ？施設。施設としか書いてない。そこに行ってみないとわかんないんだね。ここは何だろう。なんかいろいろある。あ、スケートボードを売ってんのかな、もしかしてこれ。
Looks like a case of bad timing, Zach.
そうか。
Let's come back.
どこ行ってみるか。これ時間潰せないのかな。
So you clearly love TV shows, but what about movies?
Movies? We don't even have a movie theater around here. So I can only watch what I manage to catch on TV.
Like what?
For some reason, the only movie channel we get at home is the sci-fi one. So I just watch a lot of sci-fi.
Like what? What's the last one you saw?
The one with Schwarzenegger, where there's all these clones.
The Sixth Day, 2000. Directed by Roger Spottiswoode. You must be very well versed in sci-fi if you can appreciate an Arnold S. film.
I thought it was way too easy for them to make more clones. And you'd never see a clumsy investigation like that on CSI.
That's right. It's realistic. Everything about that film is so realistic. It may be difficult for a child to understand. But, Patty, that's not your fault. All of Arnold S.'s films are filled with hyper-realism, you know. On top of that, Roger Spottiswoode is a director who excels in dealing with hardcore subject matter. Turner and Hooch, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Each film features one of the toughest tag teams you'll ever find. I can see why it's beyond you, though.
No, what I'm trying to say is, Schwarzenegger's character was just a pilot, right? Why was he so strong?
It's okay, Patty. You don't need to try and act like an adult to impress me. I didn't understand the charm of Arnold S. films when I was your age either. You need to take your time and slowly reel the film in. Do that, and Arnold S. will greet you with a big, warm smile.
Whatever, just stop calling him Arnold S., okay? It's irritating me.
Zach, she's at a sensitive age. We both know full well that this is the official way to refer to the film star, but she isn't used to it, so it's bothering her. When in Rome, Schwarzenegger will greet you with a big, warm smile. Zach, my mouth feels weird. How many fingers do you think we'd need to count the number of people who actually call him Schwarzenegger? We'll just have to stomach it for her sake, Zach. Patty, we're investigating here. I think it's about time we cut the chit-chat and got back to work.
What? You're the one who brought it up, and you hardly even let me say anything.
シュワルツネッガーって呼んでる人の方が多いと思うんですけど。
Bad timing, Zach. We need to place the fig. Let's come back. 時間を潰せるものがないとな。
どっかのお店に行けばいいのか。シェリフデパート、オールズネスト。ホワイトオールのとこか。ここ行ってみようかな。オールズネスト。ここをマーカー入れて、行ってみるか。どこだ？あっちか。スウェリーさんの会社がホワイトオールって言いますからね。ちょっと行ってみるか。
This is the deep south. I feel it every time that molten hot sun pours down on me. Don't you, Zach?
危ない。あれ？出れない。ちゃんと道なりに行かないとダメなのか。あ、迷路だ。迷路だ、ここは。地下で行くしかない。
Zach, you're a coffee person, right? No sugar, only milk. Yes, I'm completely with you on that one. Hey, Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the San Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand, and Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa's murder while sitting in a bar during our vacation in New Orleans. That certainly wouldn't have happened if we had stayed in D.C. They would have given the case to another special agent, or maybe even to the state, and then we never would have found it. In the end, it would have been shut up in that vast, desolate evidence vault along with all the other cases, marked by nothing but a first-degree murder tag buried in a soggy grave at the bottom of a sea of data. That would have been its fate. Instead, it traveled from person to person until it finally fell right into our lap. Things always work out that way for us. We've traveled all over the United States trying to track down San Rouge. We can't let this chance pass.
ワンちゃんだ。ワンちゃんか？狼じゃねえか、あれ。お、持ってきたな。これはいいのかやって。いかんと思うが。でもこっちに向かってくるもんな。揚げの皮。
It's a beautiful day, Patty.
Really?
おお。いたいたいたいた。これレアか。おお。よくわからん。あっちに橋がある。
One lollipop? Two lollipops? Three lollipops? Don't mind me, Zach. This is how I wake myself up.
Tabaco 買えるか？しかね。これはドリンクだもんな。タバコを買える店。あ、オールンとかにあるかな。
So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Unda, is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of either? Still too early to tell. But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case's mysteries. That's what my soul. Zach, it appears to be closed. Let's come back during business hours.
そうか、バーだからか。どうしようかな。どこで時間潰せる？いろいろロケーションはあるが。あるいはホテルに戻って時間を、なんか地震とかありました？なんか今、地震っていうのが出てんだけど。どっかで地震あったのかな？コメント欄のとこに地震っていうのが出てる。こんなん出るんだ。石川の方で ?6 強本当に新潟方面嘘ちょっと待って、新潟って今、うち行ってるぞ、家族。新潟のどこですか？ちょっと待ってね。本当だ。でも、今ちょうどうちの家族が新潟の方に行ってんすけど、新潟、多分これは4ぐらいだから大丈夫かな。地域的には4かな。ちょうど。本当だ。地震あったんだ。マジか。今ちょっと LINE はしてますけどね。ちょっと心配になったんで今 LINE しましたけど、多分大丈夫だろう。震度4ぐらいだから、おそらくは大丈夫だと思うけど、山あいとかのところには住んでないから、多分大丈夫だと思うけどな。なるほど。いや、コメント欄のところにこう、そう。津波の心配はない。でも6強ってでかいっすよね。行ってみんか。そうなんだ。まあまあ心配なければいいんだが。しかしここのお店が閉まってたんでどうしようかな。のんきにスケートしてる場合じゃねえんだけどな。ほんと。
This town sure is peaceful, Zach. Yes, I know. I know what you're about to say. But that's why we're here.
でももしかした
To
ら
protect this
あっち
peace.
の方ででかい地震があったってことは、そのつながりにくくなってる可能性もあるよね。
Hey, Zach. No, nothing. Just felt like saying that.
とかに住んでる方はね、どっかと思うんだよね。6強とか久しぶりだな、その数字。
Hey, Agent York.
Yes?
またこれ日焼けしたお客様にはなってる。
So,
What?
Mr. York,
あんたか
what do you think of my castle? Pretty cool, ain't it?
I've been curious about it since the first time I saw it. You've got excellent taste, Melvin.
I dub it Lou Crawfish. I'll have you know, crawfish is pretty much its own food group in this town. Since this store carries all the bare necessities you'll need for daily life, I reckon it was an apt name. If it's sundries you're looking for, there ain't much you won't find here.
タバコとか売ってねえかな。あ、売ってるわ。ミドルタバコ。ヘビータバコ。ヘビータバコ行ってみっか。ミドルタバコぐらいにしとくか。ヘビーも買っとこう。これでとりあえずは。時
You
間
ever
潰してみ
need
ようか。
anything? You just come on by, Mr. York.
You're not only the sheriff of this town, you also manage a general store.
Sure, as long as you ring this bell here.
That's terribly convenient, Melvin. But I have one concern. What if a crime occurs while you're managing the store? Running a business and keeping the peace, both jobs require immediate response in times of crisis. I just can't see how it would be possible.
It's actually pretty easy, Mr. York.
But what if a criminal who just robbed a bank came here on his way home and bought up all your stock?
Oh, I like the sound of that. You want to make me rich? Hey, I'll never let money stand in my way. It's not the boss of me, for I am the last shopaholic. Ooh, I'm funny.
Melvin, that was a serious question.
Really? Could have fooled me. Not even the Clarksons would do something that crazy. No point in preparing for something that'll never happen, right? After all, this is Lucare, the tiny forgotten town in the middle of southern nowhere.
Get it, Zach? It's Occam's razor to a T. Melvin, I have to say you're a very balanced man. Now I feel confident that the Woods household will do just fine, even if you end up losing your job as town sheriff.
You sure are a joker, Mr. York.
さあ、時間を潰してみるか。ミドルぐらいで、どのぐらいいくかだな。 お、結構いくね。お、結構いったな。宿泊費用がすげえ減ったんだけど。ここで宿泊はしてないんだが。ヘビーやっちゃうととんでもなく遅い時間になっちゃいそうだから、もう一個ぐらい緑にしとくか。
Okay.
いろいろある。
You ever need anything?
これで緑をやればちょうどいい感じなんじゃねえの？お、暗くなった。暗くなった。お、いいね。ちょうどいいんじゃない？さあ、行ってみるか。M16 だよね。さすがにおばあちゃんだったらこの時間帯なんか入ってるだろう。
This is the deep south. Hey, Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the San Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand, and Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa's murder while sitting in a bar during our vacation in New Orleans. That certainly wouldn't have happened if we had stayed in D.C. They would have given the case to another special agent, or maybe even to the state, and then we never would have found it. In the end, it would have been shut up in that vast, desolate evidence vault along with all the other cases, marked by nothing but a first-degree murder tag buried in a soggy grave at the bottom of a sea. Bad timing, Zach. We need to place the figurine in front of her. Let's come back later.
まだか。何時ぐらいに帰ってくんだろうね。ここだっけ？一旦ボーリング場行ってみるか。そろそろ帰りませんかとかって言えないのかな。
Hey, Zach. No, nothing. Just felt like saying that. This is the deep south. I feel it every time that molten hot sun.
衝突したような。衝突してました。離れた。
Hey, Zach. No, nothing. Just felt like saying that.
ドラム缶、セーフエリア。あ、野宿ができるようになるの？あ、ツールボックスがある。レザータバコがある。レザータバコ使おうか。結構あるね。結構あんだな。戻ってみるか。
One lollipop? Two lollipops? Three lollipops? Don't mind me, Zach. This is how I wake myself up. This is the deep south. I feel it every time that molten hot sun pours down on me. Don't you, Zach?
Mo 8時になるけどな。明かりついた。これはいいんじゃない？明かりついたということは家にいるってことじゃない？
Bad timing,
あ
Zach.
れ？
We need to place the... Let's come back later.
嘘。タバコね。いや、でも明かりついたからな。また手に入れられる。じゃあ、フェザータバコぐらいにしとこうか。いや、どうだろう。フェザータバコ。1時間。どうだ？パトリシアはね。
Bad timing, Zach. We
ま
need
だ
to
ダメな
place the
の？
figurine in... Let's come back later.
まだ帰ってきてないの？本当に？もうちょっとか、じゃあ。さすがに22時には帰ってくんじゃないの
？ We need to place the figurine in... Let's come...
この時間でも
Looks like a case... Let's come back...
もうじゃあ深夜でないといかんってこと？じゃあもうミドル行きますか。なんだ常世か。
Zach, how about we grab a bite to eat?
はいはいはい、食べよう。なんか持ってるだろう。ロリポップキャンディー。ロリポップキャンディーしかねえが。まあ、これを食べるか。とりあえずこれでいいだろう。 あ、やっぱこう床かの時でないとダメなんだ。
Yes. Perfect.
Oh, my dear lost lamb. What are you doing there?
Oh, this? This is all part of the Lise Clarkson murder investigation.
Something important, hmm?
Oh, yes. Very important. I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please call me York. That's what everyone calls me. But what should I call you?
I'm Tyrone Sanders, pastor of the Lucare Evangelical Church.
And what business does a pastor like yourself have in a place like this?
あそこの人か。
Well, I live over across the way there.
Do you have an intimate relationship with Mrs. Carpenter?
Why? Why in the world would you suggest such a pitiful thing? Lordy, Lordy. How could I ever become intimate with one who is so devoid of faith? After she lost her husband, she stopped coming to church. All she does all day is bowl. She even pruned the shrubbery in that pitiful fashion. Yes, truly pitiful. And did you see that hideous ox of a dog she owns? Pitiful with a capital P. I tried speaking with her, but she shows no intention of changing her ways. Yes, I fear she never lends an ear when the good Lord reaches out to her. Indeed, I pity her from the bottom of my heart.
So you've been spying on her out of pity?
Spying? I'm merely awaiting the chance to lend her a helping hand. You'd best be careful, too. This town harbors much more danger than you're aware of. If you ever find yourself in need of salvation, feel free to stop by our church whenever you like. Our church also functions as a clinic. Someday, you may need our help.
Zach, did you hear that? Pitiful. Try saying that to someone in the city. They'd instantly slap you with slander or defamation charges. You'd be up to your neck in court papers. I doubt I'll tire of this town anytime soon. We should consider stopping by that church whenever we get a chance.
さあ、この足でレストランアクセスサス行けんのか。深夜営業してんのかな。おお、なんだあれ。おお、なんだこりゃ。やばいやばいやばいやばいやばい。やばいね。おお、なんか湧いてる。レストランでも。まだ前作と比べると可愛い敵だな。またやって。あれ、どっから入るのこれ。おい、やばいやばいやばいやばいやばい。いっぱい手に入った。
Let's come back later.
あ、マジか。そりゃそうだわな。寝るっきゃねえや。さっきのなんか寝泊まりできるとこってどこだ。 あ、でも、このまま過ぎれば打てるか。ここだ、ここ。ええ。おお。
Very good, sir. Please, come right this way. Serving you, please do let...
上に戻ればいいのか。あそこか。あれ？いや、レストランだ。あれ？自分の部屋はどこだ？自分の部屋がわからない。あ、あそこか？あ、実質って書いてる。セーブしよう。
Zach, even though the Bureau is paying for this, nothing beats getting a good night.
6、7時がいいかな。ああ、レイトさんどうもです。空腹がやばい。飯を食おう。エビデンスボード。あ、いろんな人に出会ったな。あ、こうやって変わっていくんだね。わかりやすくなってくるね、こうやって見ると。このリースが殺された娘さんね。オッケー。まずはご飯食べよう。ご飯は上だな。
My restaurant serves only the highest quality Creole cuisine.
ここの店員さんは全員デイビッドさんなんだよな。同一人物なのかどうかがわかんない
The
けど。
real deal, which ain't too easy to find in a backwoods town like this.
Did I hear wrong then? Set me straight, would you, Chef? I thought that Cajun food was the norm in Acadiana. Why would you go out of your way to serve Creole food here?
When I was a youngin', I trained myself at a famous restaurant in New Orleans.
A famous restaurant? That's incredible. Was it Arnaud's? Antoine's? No, don't tell me, I got it. Brennan's, right?
None of those, actually. But that place taught me how to really cook. Go on and try something, you'll see.
Very intriguing.
Oh. エビのバーベキュー。シーフードプレート。ああ、でもこれ食った方がいいな。2個。
That food was unbelievable. I see you weren't lying about undergoing training at that famous restaurant.
Ah, now you just trying to embarrass me, mister. I still appreciate it, though.
And you must have undergone some rigorous training in order to gain such refined technique. You put so much care into preparing everything just right. And your manipulation of that low-temp flame in order to bring out such a pleasant fragrance, this is true Creole food. You have to tell me now, which famous restaurant did you train yourself at? Come on, chef, we need to know. Zach and I are begging you.
Ah, you drive a hard bargain, mister. All right, I reckon I can give you a hint.
Really?
Oh, just a hint now.
Fine, we'll take it.
It's the restaurant that serves the most famous fried chicken in all of Louisiana. Crispy, crunchy. You know what I'm talking about? Bonafide fried chicken.
No, you can't mean...
Oh, yeah.
I'll bet they worked you pretty hard.
Mm-hmm, you betcha.
So that's how you acquired the mental fortitude necessary to cook such amazing
何の
food.
店だ
Oh, my time there taught me just how tough city life really is.
Amazing. Zach, did you hear all that? That's an incredible story, David. You really are a true chef. Both Zach and I have given you our official approval.
健康維持報酬。よし。じゃあ、もうちょいでね、時間になってきてるんで、ボーリング場に行って、ちょっと進めたら終わりますかね。このゲームはね、長らくやってるともう止まらないからね。どっかで切らんとね。そう。あそこだな。おお、危ない。よし。
Look, let's come back later.
あれあ、まだ店あるあドーンって言ったけど。あ、そうか、まだ店開いてねえのか。お昼時ってことかなあ、ヘビータバコ吸うか。途中で止めればいい。10多分もうやってるだろう。OK。
Sorry for the wait, Patty.
Whatever.
Is Mrs. Carpenter here?
No, she hasn't come in today.
お、チャンスだ。
Everything's going according to plan. It's time to knock down the 10 maidens, Zach.
Oh, my Lord, y'all are back? Listen up. Y'all ain't gonna believe this.
What's wrong?
Mrs. Carpenter hasn't come in. For the first time in 10 years. What could it be? I just hoping nothing bad happened to her.
She's fine. You have my guarantee.
Oh, my Lord. I reckon if an FBI agent like you is convinced, then I should be too.
さあ、やってみるか。
What did I tell you, Patty? Value is a relative thing. We needed to find that figurine, no matter the cost.
だ、俺がストライクを取るだけだ。
You really wanted to bowl that bad? They don't have bowling alleys in the city no more?
Wrong, Patty. I have absolutely no interest in bowling. Tossing a heavy ball at lined up pins? Where's the fun in that? You can't even call this a sport. It's a game for cavemen. Nonsense. Utter nonsense.
ナンセンスと言っちゃう。
Then can I throw the ball instead?
Absolutely not, Patty. This is part of the investigation. I need to do this myself, no matter how stupid it may be.
You're the one who's stupid. Sure looks like you're having fun to me.
ボールの選択。いつも俺は13ぐらいで投げてるな。16だとちょっと重いんじゃないかな。13ぐらいでいいと思う。決定。投げる角度。立ち位置。回転させるんだったらって話だけどな。まあ直球ストレートでいくか。まっすぐ行かないと。なるほど、スピンかけれるんだ。これはど真ん中。くそー。スピンかけた方がいいのかな。ここらへん。そっちが行っちゃうのね。ライトスピンだからか。レフトスピンにしないといけないのか。なるほど。もう一回。意外とむずいぞ、これ。どう？ダメだ。直球の方がいいのか？このぐらいの角度がいいのか。上がったけどスプリット。くそー、まだど真ん中の方がいいのかな。直球ストレートでいくか。どう？むずい。どう？これでどう？惜しい。惜しい。意外にむずいな。16でいくか、じゃあ。どう？揺れてる。倒れてくれなかった。どう？いった。ようやくや。来た。
Oh, looks like I finally earned myself a rival.
That was just a stroke of luck, Mrs. Carpenter. Despite how I may seem, I've never been any good at any of the ball-based sports that exist here on our planet.
Oh, no, you can't fool me. I can tell the FBI's giving you very special training. If I gave you a few lessons on top of that, I'm sure you'd be able to go semi-pro.
Semi-pro?
That's right. That's what I said.
Not pro, but semi-pro.
Yes, semi-pro. You'd never be able to go pro. You don't have what it takes. You could become a semi-pro if you tried really hard, though. Well, I guarantee it. Come back and see me when you feel like giving it a try. I'm sure my husband would forgive me if I let someone like you borrow my lane. Well, we gotta give youngsters a chance to grow. That's what we always say.
I could actually go semi-pro?
I'd take her words with a grain of salt if I were you.
Patricia, I can understand why you'd be envious of my talents, but you don't need to worry. You have your own unique talents, just like any other person. You shouldn't have to feel inferior every time you look at me.
You're unbelievable. You sure you don't need to get your head checked out?
It's so strange, Zach. I feel like I'm discovering a new side to myself.
By the way, Mr. Special Agent, you said you're investigating the Lise Clarkson incident, yes? In that case, there's something you should know.
あら、重要な証言
That poor girl Lise,
あら、
she was a druggie.
ツインピックスみたいじゃん。これまたあれじゃん。前作レッドシーツプロファイルと同じやん。
And she was into the really bad stuff.
Red powder.
Oh.
Oh, no wonder the FBI picked you. You already figured out that much. Well, the reason Lise turned into such a little hoodlum is because of her mother, Belina.
Belina?
Mm-hmm. A mother only in name. Oh, as far as I'm concerned, she's still nothing more than a child herself. Oh, dressing up in fancy clothes, always out on the town somewhere. Children giving birth to children. If these aren't the end times, well, I don't know what is. Oh, and they were always cooped up in that jazz bar.
ジャズバ
Galena wouldn't know proper parenting if it hit her in the tush.
ー。オールズネストとか。
Zach, the jazz bar. We first heard about it from Patricia. It must be deeply connected with this case. And the red powder. It must be San Rouge. Following the Oracle and felling the 10 maidens sure paid off, didn't it?
なるほどね。
So, Mr. Special Agent, are you all finished here?
Yes, Mrs. Carpenter. Thanks to you, I've gotten a new lead.
Oh, then how about you mosey on and let me get back to my bowling? I need to bowl my first game of the day or else I'm gonna get rusty. Well, what are you waiting for? Get a move on! Shoo! Shoo!
そしておばあちゃんがずーっとここで。あ、ボーリングもいつでもできるようになるのかな。
Hi there, Hen.
あ、ボーリングできんだね。今はいいだろう。ん？なんだ？
When the sun
あ、
awakens,
ガンだ。
catch the tip of the baby bear's tail at the false altar. At the entrance to the other world will reveal itself to you.
Zach, it's another oracle. It appears that we're being guided by a mysterious power. This oracle is a simple one. The false altar. You already know what this is, right? The place where Lise Clarkson's body was first discovered.
Oh.
She was found under a bridge at some sort of altar as if she was being worshipped. That's what Chef David said, right? When the sun awakens refers to dawn, of course.
夜明け。
And the tip of the baby bear's tail is the North Star. At dawn, look straight to the north from where Lisa's body was found. On the surface, this oracle may seem tricky and convoluted, but it's still mere child's play. Pathetic.
次なる場所はそこに行くわけか。
Zach, let's follow the oracle and head to where Lisa's body was found. I don't know what otherworld refers to, but I'm sure we'll find out once we get there.
Oracle?
That's right, Patty. This case is a rather complicated one. So Zach and I are following oracles given to us by a skeletal gentleman in order to crack it.
Ah, 朝6時から8時、もう過ぎちゃってるな。じゃあまた時間潰しとかしないといけないわけだな。じゃあまあそれは次回にしますかね。まあサブクエとかもあるからそれとかしながら時間潰してその時間になるように次回からはそうしますかね。とは言っても次回はどのタイミングでやるかっていうね。まあ多分夏かな。夏のスペシャルって感じかな。夏のスペシャルやれればね、夏やれれば、その時にまた続きをやろうかなと。これ多分ね、やろうとすると通常の配信の時だとね、あんまり進まないと思うんだよね。なんでこう長時間ね、取れる時ってなんでなかなかできないと思うんで。はい。というわけで、そうそうもう4時になりますんでね、レッドシーツプロファイルの続編であるこうデッドリプレモニション2の、パート2の実況は、これにて、終了しようと思います。で、1時間後ぐらいからですね、今日急遽決定した、クライオフィアの続編かぐらいに思える、ゲームが、約1年前に出ていてですね、それが、今年になって、さらに DLC が出たりとかして、結構ね、クライオフィアをやってた人たちにとっても話題になっているゲームです。で、Xbox にもね、そのゲームが今年の2月か3月ぐらいに出たばっかなんで、それを Steam 版を、やろうかと思いますんで、そうですね、ルーさん、とりあえずは、デッドリープレモネーション2今日の、実況は終わりになります。そうなんですよ、話聞いてね、ちょっと進めてでね、終わっちゃいそうなんで、なるべくこう、時間作れるときにこれはね、やっていきたいなと思ってますんで、はい。まあこれもまだね、エピソード1まだ終わってないしね。本当に。今日、ほんとそこまで進んでない感じしますもん。だからほんと久しぶりに世界観を堪能したみたいな感じですね。はい。この陽気な音楽とともに、終わろうと思います。またちょっと1時間後ぐらいにお会いしました。それまでちょっとシャワー浴びたりとかして準備しようと思いますんで、よろしくお願いします。はい。では、エンディングに入らせていただきます。失礼します。ありがとうございました。